G'day. Welcome to the Essential Oil Science Series, video number 9, Oils and Bugs. We're coming towards the end of a wonderful winter here in Perth, and it's spring. So all these little plants are starting to produce flowers. It's this little guy over here, the wattle or the acacia. Yeah, just tons of flowers beginning to come out in this lovely part of the world, and it's a beautiful morning. It's just about my birthday, so I'm really happy. Thank you so much for everyone who's given all the feedback that you've given on the videos so far, and I look forward to digesting all of your questions and moving forwards with answering some of those. Thank you so much. Oh, check out this little flower. Yeah. Glorious. So, yeah, I just love plants, and especially this time of year when all the flowers start to come out. It's just beautiful. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about menthol. You'll see it. Oh, gee, there's a kangaroo sitting right there. See him? He's a big boy. Off he goes. So why menthol? Well, I did a little bit of experimenting with peppermint oil in Bali, and I'll show you a little video below. And I wanted to look at its main constituent, menthol, before we looked at that video. So menthol has been really well studied. It's this guy here. You can see it's got 10 carbons, so it's a monoterpene, and it's got this little oxygen and hydrogen hanging off the end here, so, which makes it an alcohol, thus the OL ending. I'm guessing you're figuring this stuff out by now. So it has a whole lot of properties, menthol all on its own, and then combined with the other compounds in peppermint oil, it can pack a really big boost. So peppermint's one of my favorite oils. It's definitely one of my go-to oils. I get motion sickness all the time, and this stuff is well, I used to before I started using peppermint, and this stuff is fantastic. So it's a cold receptor agonist. This is just a fancy way of saying that it makes your cold receptors under your skin think that they're touching something cold, and it sends a signal up to the brain. That's why peppermint feels cold on the skin, although it isn't making your skin any colder. It's an analgesic, it's a muscle relaxant, it blocks some of the channels involved in the neurons that excite muscles. It's an anesthetic, and you can do a little experiment here. You take some peppermint oil, put it on one of your forearms, let it sink in for a bit, pinch both of your forearms, and the one with the oil on it will feel a little different. The pain feels a little more dull. The edge is taken off it. It's an antibacterial, and this is well known. That's why menthol is used in dentistry. It's been shown to kill a bunch of bacteria that lives inside your mouth. It's a GABA modulator, so it can get up into the brain and affect neurotransmitters up there. Alright, it's a fun little experiment actually. Take some peppermint oil, stick it into the freezer, make sure the freezer's turned up pretty high. When you take it out, your oil will look like a slushy, and a slushy is a combination of crystals and liquid. And the crystal bits are this guy here, menthol. And that's a common way that menthol is extracted from peppermint oil. So let's look at what peppermint oil does when you put it next to some ants. So this is in Bali. I saw a pile of ants congregating for some reason, and decided to put some peppermint oil next to them to see what would happen. So there it is. There's the oil droplet over here. This poor little guy got stuck in there and is trying to swim away from it. It obviously has a whole lot of surface tension for this little guy, so it's difficult for him to move. But you can see the rest of them are coming up to the oil, smelling it, and taking off. Occasionally you see one of them getting stuck and kind of struggling out of it. Watch this little guy, he starts doing moonwalks after he got stuck in the oil. So yeah, and 30 seconds after I took this, there are absolutely no ants to be seen anywhere within a couple of meters. So that's what we're going to be looking at next, the kind of anti-bug properties of essential oils. And here's a little experiment that I set up. So I was interested in how plants protect themselves from bugs out in nature using essential oils. So here's some rosemary, and I'm picking off 4 little sprigs there. 2 of them I'm going to rub the oil off them, and the other 2 I'm going to keep the oil on there. So rosemary, so these are the 2 that are getting water treatment just in case water affects the results. So, and this one has detergent, and I'm rubbing the back of the leaves because that's where the oil sacs are on rosemary, and that's the case with peppermint as well, and a few other plants. So now I'm rinsing them to get rid of the detergent, and putting them in 2 different bowls, and then I'm going to take them outside and let nature do its thing. So some on the grass and some on the porch there. And this is something you can try. You can also try any other experiment that you can think of. You can either use a straight up oil and look at how it affects little critters like bugs and fungus and bacteria and things like that. There's some great experiments out there already, on YouTube for example, or out there on the internet. Or you can look at the plant itself and do something similar to what I've done. Take some plant material, try to remove the oil from it, and see what happens with oil and without the oil. And that'll give you a more direct, kind of natural, a la natural look at how oils help plants out in the wild. Alright, so looking forward to hearing your results, and again thanks for your feedback, and I look forward to moving forward with your suggestions. Have a great day.